Okay, let's open it up.
Scott, obviously, I know San Jose is always a fun spot for you. A lot of VIPs in the crowd. Big one tonight. I guess just give us your thoughts overall on the evening.
Boy, I tell you, it's a special night. Obviously, 17 years ago, it all started here. We had the very first fight in the history of the state. Frank Shamrock fought against Caesar, but Nate Diaz fought on that card. Gilbert fought against Harris Sarmiento. Clay Guida fought Josh Thompson. Eugene Jackson fought on the card. I mean, when I looked at all the old names, it was just a throwback to really the beginning, not the beginning, but the second stage of MMA fighters. So it was really something that I feel really good about coming into the building, and I knew we were gonna have a good crowd. I think that the fans here love great mixed martial arts, and I think we gave it to them tonight.
Absolutely. Obviously, a dominant win there for Usman in the main event. I just want to get your thoughts on him. It just seems to be, undefeated, young, and getting better at this point in his career.
Yeah, I think tonight was a really good test because Benson is a guy that has seen it all, and he was about to put a lot of pressure on Usman, and I think that Usman showed what he's made of. Right? I mean, he hit him with a nice shot, and for him to stop Benson the way he did, that was impressive. I have not seen that happen. I mean, how many times have you seen that to Benson Henderson? I mean, and I didn't know he was going to retire. Honestly, it caught me off guard. Like, oh man, this is going to be a special moment. And I told him, I said, hey, you're a legend. You've done it all. Like, you don't need to do anymore. And he said, yes, my wife's turn now. So she's fighting on March 31st at Pachanga, and it's time for her career and their family now.
Yeah, I was going to ask you with that, but Vince, I mean, obviously you didn't promote his entire career. He had some championships before he came here, but yeah, watching him walk away tonight, I know you've seen his accomplishments. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he was one of the first free agents that came over, right? Him and Phil Davis, Bader. I think Fedor came over early too, so he was one of the first guys that gave us a shot and to help us. And I knew that we would always count on him to have a great fight, great performance, and he's so well rounded, and he's always in great shape, and he has a great gas tank, and he always brings it. So it wasn't his night tonight; it didn't work out. But man, just seeing him retire there, it really was a touching moment, and I think that it's time, because now he would just be waiting for the tournament to be over, and then it'd be another year, and I think it's the right time, and now onward and forward to the next part of his career or his life.
I want to ask you about the co-main event, because it looked like this Grand Prix was going to get started in a really weird way. I guess I thought it was going to be a no contest before they rolled it to TKO. So I guess what was going through your mind as all that was playing out, and are you comfortable that the right decision was made?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at the video, the front kick is actually the one that did the damage, right? And I think that Masiev, I think he broke his rib, and he had shortness of breath, and he had the interpreter, the translator, so there's no misunderstanding. And that's why the referee brought the translator over so they could have a conversation. And he said, no, that's it. Like, it's over. And really, it was like I think more of a injured rib that was creating a shortness of oxygen for him, more than the heel that came down and had a glancing blow at the very end. But the original shot, the reason why they called it a TKO, and they talked about it, was the original shot was the one that did the damage. So that was straight in the solar plexus, and then the heel had a glancing blow on the way down.
Nice. Just two more real quick. It looks like we have two number one contenders maybe with Linton and MVP. They both kind of called for title shots. Does it look like championship matches for both of them next?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I know we have Jackson in the wings, right? So we have to be respectful to that. He's been waiting a long time. But I'm excited to get MVP back, get busy. I mean, this guy is so talented. He's so fast. And if you were to tell me that he was going to do a leg kick and take someone out with a leg kick, I don't know if I would have believed it. But that's how versatile he is. So good for him. And I've always enjoyed watching that guy fight, because he could do it all. So we'll have him back in the cage soon. And I think he's ranked number 1 or number 2 now. And so he's going to have to kind of hold tight until Jackson gets his shot, and then he'll get a shot after that.
Nice. Last thing about that leg kick, I was just curious if there was any update on Koichi and what his status is.
No, I'm sorry, we don't. I know we took him to the hospital, but they said, his manager actually texted me. So, hold on a second. This came in from, sorry about this.
Probably get a lot of texts.
Yes, it's been a busy night. He said, based on the X-ray, it's a patella tendon rupture. So that sounds very painful. And Masayev did break his rib. So that's the update. The front kick definitely got in there and did some damage.
Scott, we had Sarah McMahon back here earlier, another nice free agent signing by you guys. She mentioned that one of the reasons that she liked the thought of coming over here was sort of rebuild herself as a featherweight. You talked to us the other day about how if you don't know what's going on with Cyborg and you know she's sort of, you build the division around her, if she were to leave, maybe featherweight's not in your future on the women's side. But that's what Sarah came here for, kind of. So can you maybe clarify that? And,
I wouldn't
are we talking years down the road?
Yeah,
here?
listen, I wouldn't jump to conclusions, you know, because we're still in dialogue with Chris. We respect her. We think that she is, to me, the GOAT in the female division. She fought here, was it 2009 against Gina Carano in the very first female MMA fight on national TV to be the main event. So she's a lot of historical things and had a great success, a great career. So I wouldn't count that out, and then we'll make decisions based on what happens. You know, we still have you know, some contractual rights to her until August. So let's see how it plays out. So it could be, you know, something that, you know, we're going to engage with her next week, start talking about, you know, what we want to do. But I still think we're in a very good position with her. I think she loves being here. I think we have a very good working relationship. We've been, you know, working together since 2009 or 2008 maybe, and you know, I wouldn't count it out yet.
If she were to go, and I know you're saying, hey, she's just as good of a chance as she'll be back here. If she were to go, can you keep that division around and build it around somebody like Sarah McMahon, even though she's in her 40s?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Listen, we have contractual obligations to allow these females to fight. So yeah, the answer is yes. It doesn't have to be so black and white right now. I think that there's a little bit of a gray area, but it's onward and forward until we actually make a decision one way or the other.
And I mean, you've been in that position 100 times where you've got a star who's going to leave and, or you know, change direction in their career, and you have to figure something else out. So it's old hat, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, one of the things we take pride in is, you know, the fighters that we want to keep, we're able to keep, you know, whether it was Strikeforce, right? Or whether it was here in Bellator, you know, the situation, let's say like for instance, Michael Chandler, right? Great talent. That was a business decision that we made internally to eventually pour more money into our lightweight division as a whole, and pour more money into AJ McKee's and all the other, and build a real lightweight division because it was really thin at that time. So, you know, sometimes, you know, you let an athlete go and there's business reasons behind it. It's not just, oh, let's let this guy walk or this girl walk. There's some business, you know, ramifications of what we're doing, and the outcome really is to make the league overall much healthier. And so, you know, the Cyborg thing is no different. But you know, with her, I feel good about it. Or you know, when you're saying fighters come and go, I mean, in Strikeforce, we kept everybody, really. You know, it's that we wanted to keep. And I think in Bellator, it's the same thing. We invest in the fighters that we want to be in business with.
And in terms of Linton, if he's going to rematch Bader, I mean, you get kind of a fun, unique situation that these guys fought for a title, a division down. Now they're going to fight for a title in a separate division, and that doesn't happen very often. So, I mean, do you see some fun ways that you guys can kind of promote that as a rematch?
Yeah, I think both these guys are better at heavyweight than they are at light heavyweight. And for whatever reason, they perform at a higher level when they're in the heavyweight division. So I'm looking forward to it because the Linton I saw today is not the Linton I've ever seen before. Moldowski is no joke. He is a real solid heavyweight, has great skills all the way around, has had a great training camp, obviously trains with Fedor and that whole team. And, you know, it seemed like Linton just dominated him and took it to him. So, you know, we look forward to promoting that fight. I think Bader should be the next opponent. We haven't talked to Ryan yet, so there's still some things to be discussed. But that's my goal, is to put that fight together as soon as possible.
Tonight's card had some pretty exciting finishes from fighters from the UK, Russia, and so on. And I know you guys have broadcast deals. And, you know, for fans in those countries, they got to be up at the crack of dawn because MMA is a live sport. But nonetheless, you guys do travel a lot, and you visit as many countries as you can.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the plan going forward? Do you have new places you guys haven't been to you'd like to visit in the near future, as well as maybe new broadcast deals in areas that you haven't been before? I think you guys have a new deal in Brazil, I think, too.
Yeah, with Globo.
Yeah.
And we're excited about that. I said this before, and I said if COVID didn't hit in the beginning of 2020, we would already be in Brazil now. And I don't mean just one time. I think we'd be building a business there, doing multiple fights with a TV partner, which now we have global. So, I feel really good about, maybe Brazil even at the end of this year or beginning of next year. But we will be going to Brazil to do a fight, a big fight with Bellator. And I think that the time is right, and we've waited long enough. We have a great business deal with Sakakibara in Japan, and we have a great relationship with RMC in France. We love going to Dublin. I mean, Dublin, Ireland, if you've never been there to see a fight, is unbelievable. It's something like you've ever seen. And love going back to the UK. We might revisit Italy at some point, but right now I think South America and Asia and keeping our footprint in Europe is our primary goal.
And talking about expanding your horizons, have you guys thought about more weight classes maybe as you pick up more talent in other countries?
I'll tell you, the one question, and actually was Dan Lambert, was asking me about Horiguchi, going down to 25, and would you guys consider having a division? So we're talking internally about having a 125-pound weight class division. It just hasn't been determined yet.
Do you have an attendance for tonight by chance?
I'm not sure, but I know it was over 10,000. I'm sure we get that to you, in the next hour or so.
And then also, can you describe any discussions you had with Luke Rockhold? Was there any attempt to get him on this card, or how do you envision?
No, I'll tell you honestly, Luke and I had a great conversation in LA during the Fedor fight. Dave Martin came out, we had a great conversation, and we were going to continue our dialogue. And I was hopeful that we would at least have another conversation to see if there was something to be done. But it seems like they got a really good offer from Mr. Kogan. How are you? But he got a good offer from Bare Knuckle, and listen, I don't blame him, man. He's a prize fighter, and he's going to go fight, and he's got to feed his family and take care of himself. So that's what worked out, and let's see what happens. I mean, it's to me it was a little bit of a surprise, but this is a business, and friendship aside, look, Luke and I can go play golf and hang out and have lunch and be boys, but this is a business as well. Okay, guys, thank you.
Thanks, Bob.